the rejections, quote unquote, that I had earliest, right, when I started this thing, were not like no's. They were like not yeses, which that's been my most common no, which doesn't hurt as much, but it almost like destroys you inside. I realized that they were kind of right. Like, we were pitching something that we could not guarantee every time, and it's a little ridiculous to ask someone to spend a couple $100,000. But what we realized is like virality just wasn't concrete enough for a business. There wasn't any way to really prove exactly what they got out of that. And around this time, a viral project that we had done, which we put 50 people on treadmills and had them dance in tandem for Nordic Track. And it was like the coolest thing ever. And it was right around this time that Ring told us no, that we found out and realized that our viral video was actually driving like measurable sales. And we finally realized, like, holy crap, if we can attribute like sales and have attribution through this whole thing, then we've like found the golden bullet. I think we had a few of those not no's after that where we pitched and it was kind of like yeah, this sounds interesting, and then we never heard back, couldn't get another call. I think that's when we started to realize, like, maybe they're not jerks. Maybe they're just honest. Maybe they did us a favor. The not no is like, we'll pitch, right? And then we just don't hear anything. It just goes on forever. And they're kind of still like, they're keeping the door open. And I think this is one of the insights I wanted to share. And maybe this is just unique to like doing large ticket items. But what we've noticed, Kate, with these not no's is it's because it's such a large ticket item thing that it's just going to take them a really long time to decide. I feel like clients, they want to like go through some crap with you like before they sign. Like, we have another one right now. They've signed the contract like 3 times. Same thing, and they finally just like paid, and now it's like we're actually doing this thing. And so I think it's a really like it's been a valuable lesson for me to realize, like, yes, you're going to waste time with a lot of people, but you've got to waste that time. Like, you just have to. So we pitched this thing and they're like, yeah, let's do it. So then they fly us out, right, to the East Coast, and we pitched to the president, and they're like, there's only one problem with this campaign. We're like, what? He's like, we just think it needs to be like 3 times bigger. We're like, oh, is this like, are we in a movie now? Like, people don't say that. And they're like, we need it to be like 3 times bigger. We need 3 times as many diamonds. We need this thing to go big. Let's do it. Send us an agreement. We sent us an agreement. And of course, a few weeks later, the game development gets canceled. So that is the most devastating no of my career. The only things that have ever killed us were non-payment. Like clients where we had like done the work and then they just didn't pay. And we've had that happen a couple times. We had one client cancel like 2 days before a shoot. And that was horrible. Like, that set us back like 2 months. We had another one. We raised over $1 million for them on Indiegogo, and we were on a net 30, and they just didn't pay us. And then we found out there was like a list of banks and investors that were also waiting in line, and that we'd been totally duped. And that was the last campaign we ever did on net 30. Now we get 40 or 50% up front on every campaign, so that we're not left with the bag. We always assume something's not going to close, which I know is really bad for like sales psychology, but it's really good for like the emotional roller coaster. If it's a really huge one, like, we don't count it until the payment's been made. Like, we don't mentally count it. We don't budget for it. We've learned that the hard way. I don't know about you, Michelle, but we've had so many pitches where like, yep, we're getting that one. Like, let's start planning on it. And then it doesn't happen. You got to keep the hope, and you have to give every person you pitch the benefit of the doubt, because you just never know. And like, I honestly don't think there was a bank issue at all. I think it was just wanting to see how dedicated we were. It was wanting to get buy-in from some people that maybe weren't in on the conversation before. And you just kind of have to persevere with your client, because like, we're servants, we're serving people, and we need to act like servants. We need to have that type of mindset. And I just think clients, for the greater part, they like want to run you through the ringer to see if you're family, to see if you really care, because most people don't. All the stuff you worry about, just don't. Just don't. Just put it in a box and just keep the hope. The optimism and the positivity and the hope, I think, is like a salesperson's best friends. And I spent so much time worrying and having anxiety about whether or not things were going to work out. And the truth is they're either going to or not, and it's not worth worrying about it. It's wasted energy. And because all it does is hold you back.